welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how I use my 0.1% Retin-A, and it is a little bit different than most people use it. I don't use it the way that it's intended or the way that it's been instructed, and so I have mentioned it in previous videos before, and I get a lot of questions about it, so I'm just going to try to cover all of it in this video. That way I feel like I just keep responding, with the same response to different comments, and rather than cut and paste, I'm just going to refer you to this video or something like that, So anyways, like I said, it is a little bit different than most, and so I feel like I really have to preface this video with some sort of disclaimer, of course, because when you are a content provider, and you offer information that may work for you, and that's pretty much all I'm doing, I'm just sharing with you what works for me, then there's always going to be a handful of people that have to tell you that everything that you're doing is wrong, and that I'm not being responsible because I'm sharing information that's not accurate. And so I do need to say that this is how I've been using it for the last 15 years. The first year that I started using Retin-A, I did use it the way that it was intended, and I pretty much peeled for like 9 months straight. And although I did see major improvements in my skin after that 9 months, in the last 15 years, I've just kind of maintained, that, and I'm still making progress because Retin-A use and the benefits from Retin-A is very cumulative, regardless how often you're using it. If you're using it once a week, it's better than using it no times a week. But also, I feel very fortunate because I did find some articles that suggest using Retin-A the way that I've been using it for the last 15 years. And one of them is by a very world-renowned dermatologist by the name of Dr. Leslie Bauman, and she actually suggests using maximum strength Retin-A as an alternative to a light or mini chemical peel. And so that is kind of the way that I use my Retin-A, and that's how I've been using it for the last 15 years weekly. Not every single week, because I do take breaks, and I'm going to discuss all of that with you in this video. I do really want to encourage you to check out my description box, because in my description box I'm going to put a lot of articles that kind of support a lot of the information that I'm going to be giving you in this video, and kind of validate some of my reasonings behind using it in this fashion. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so in a nutshell, I use my Retin-A typically once a week. Very rarely or occasionally I will use it more times a week, especially if I'm coming off of the summer months and I'm really wanting to, do some aggressive skincare treatment on my face. But typically I do use my Retin-A about once a week. Occasionally I'll alternate my Retin-A with something else, like where is it? Here it is right here. The Sanita's Retinol Peeling Cream. I really love this cream. It's very similar to the peel that I get from a 1% Retin-A. This is a little bit more peely and a little less flaky. So I do use this alternately sometimes with my Retin-A. But typically I use Retin-A once a week, kind of as a light chemical peel. I feel like it's just really a great way to give my skin a jump start and to really remove all the dead skin cells that are sitting on top of my face, not allowing my products to penetrate. And I really feel that when I do it that way, my products penetrate better. I have this beautiful glow at least half of the week because the other half I'm just kind of flaky and peeling. But it's just something that has always worked for me and with my schedule. And the reason that I started doing this originally in the first place is because the first 9 months of using it, I was peeling all the time. And the peel to me is extremely gratifying, because I know somebody is going to say, you don't need to see the peel in order to know that Retin-A is working. I've heard that so many times. It doesn't matter to me. To me, the peel is so gratifying. When I started out, I was at a 0.025, the lowest strength that you could get in Retin-A. Quickly, within a couple months, I moved up to a 0.05, and then I did peel a little bit with this 0.05, maybe a few times, and then I didn't see the peel any longer, and that is what I felt like I needed to see in order to see my skin making progress. When I moved up to the 0.1% Retin-A, that's when I was peeling so often. I felt like with every peel I saw improvement. So that is why it became so gratifying to me. I saw the fresh, the pink skin, the just glow. All of that came when I started to see the peel more often. So after I started using the 0.1% and I started peeling really often, like I said, it was close to 9 months that I was just constantly peeling I made some major improvements in my skin, and I covered that in my last video. I showed you before and after pictures of what my skin looked like at age 28 and how I have really transformed the discoloration and texture and stuff like that of my skin over the years. But after I made all the progress, I still wanted to maintain. However, I did not want to be peeling that often, but I didn't want to go back to not peeling at all. And so I decided to start using it this way. And my logic behind it was, I'll never forget, I was talking to my sister on the phone, and she was really aggressively using Retin-A the same way that I was. And we were like, golly, you know, I sure hope this pays off in the future, because it really stinks to have this time now while I'm still kind of young. You know, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And, well, you can't be both, right? I was in my late 20s. And I wanted to kind of appreciate my youthfulness, as I'm not sure how I knew that was even, you know, something to appreciate. But I did, because I didn't want to always look like I was peeling. And so rather than peel all the time and just always looking scaly and never looking like my makeup was applying properly and stuff like that, I decided to start applying it every Wednesday or Thursday, and I was able to kind of time it out to where I would be finished shedding, or I would be finishing up the shedding process by Monday, which was, you know, the beginning of a work week, so that my makeup would apply. So basically all my shedding would take place on the weekends. And that just worked out perfectly for me. And so because of that, that's how I've just always done it. And you know, sometimes I do lay off, sometimes I do take some breaks, because there's times where I might need to be very social, you know, week after week and into the weekend and stuff like that. And I just don't want to be peeling all the time. Another reason why I decided to do it this way is because the peeling never subsided for me with the 0.1%. And I knew that in the summer months, you know, especially now that I have children and stuff, we spend an awful lot of time in the sun in the summer months. We're at pools, rivers, lakes, beaches. That's what we do all summer long. And I know how, you know, the use of Retin-A can really leave your skin very sensitive to the sun. And so for the summer months, I really lay off. Right now, I'm gonna start laying off, and I'm gonna kind of switch it up. I start moving towards more of the glycolic acids, my high strength glycolic acid lotion. I really like that one. It does not cause me to do a lot of the flaking and the peeling, so I do use it to maintain my skin during the summer months. Now, at least 1 week out of every month during the summer, I go hardcore on some skincare, like for 1 week, and I just allow myself to look like hell, you know, for a whole week. And then I do a lot of the peeling and stuff, and then I have a fresh start, you know, because I still want my products to work and to penetrate and stuff like that. So that is basically how I use my Retin-A. Like I said, I apply it on a Wednesday. I'm usually done shedding by Sunday. I do a really good physical exfoliant Monday before I apply my makeup, and that is what works really well for me. Now, on the night that I apply my Retin-A, I clean and wash and dry my face, and then I apply it directly to my clean and dried face. And that is it. I don't apply any moisturizers, nothing. That is all that I put on my face. I do not want to dilute the product at all. I want to get the full benefit and the full effect of the Retin-A. And so I put it on clean, dry skin, I go to bed, and then that starts the process. Now, the following day, I do resume regular, you know, skincare. Whatever my nighttime skincare routine is at the moment, I just resume that skincare. Really concentrating also on moisturizers. Things, I love the CeraVe PM. I mix that with a few drops of squalene oil, and that's what I apply to my face. I do that every night anyways, just because I love how hydrating it is, and I think that CeraVe products have a really good list of ingredients, especially for replenishing the moisture barrier, because as you know, whenever you're peeling and stuff like that, you really need to replenish the moisture barrier, because otherwise you're just going to be left with dry skin, and of course we don't want that. Now, I do want to answer a couple of people's questions, a couple, more like a million, just kidding. But I got a lot of questions about, does Retin-A thin your skin? And it actually does thin the outermost layer of your skin, of the epidermis, and that is called the stratum corneum, and it's about 1/100 of a millimeter in thickness. Now it does, and it's made up mostly of dead skin cells. So yes, it does thin that part, but it actually thickens the dermis, which is 100 times thicker than the stratum corneum. It thickens the dermis because it encourages collagen synthesis, and your dermis is made up of like 75% collagen. So the overall effect is that it thickens the skin, but it does thin the top layer of the skin, which, like I said, is made up mostly of dead skin cells. Now, I can tell you one thing. Your skin is going to thin regardless, just because of age alone. You know, as we get older, our body produces less and less collagen, and the levels of collagen in our skin start to really decrease over the years. And so regardless, like right now, my skin on my hand is very thin. You could see my veins. When I was young, you could not see my veins. I've never used Retin-A on my hands, but the skin just naturally thins, you know. So because our skin is naturally thinning, and we're using Retin-A to try to encourage more collagen and more elastin, then, you know, you might just look like you're maintaining rather than making major progress, but you really are making progress because you're really slowing down the natural aging process. You know, a lot of times I think of it, we're really chasing a very fast train here, but I'm still gonna run and sprint the fastest of it that I can, you know? And I can tell you for sure that if I had not started using Retin-A back when I was 28 years old, if I didn't continue to use it the way that I do now, I really don't, I think that my skin would be in a lot worse condition. So the best thing that we can do is really try to take care of the skin, you know, and the texture and the color and the elasticity of it. And the way to do that is by, you know, using Retin-A as part of your regimen. And if you're somebody who cannot tolerate using it every day, and if you're somebody who appreciates the peeling process and you get gratification like I do by seeing the skin come off, but you don't want to look scaly all the time, then, you know, this could be a way that works out for you too. I encourage you to do some of your own research, and like I said, to read some of the articles that I'm going to put in my description box. This has just always worked out for me, and so that is how I use it. Okay, so that is the end of this video. I hope you found the information to be useful. I hope that I answered a lot of people's questions, and I do want to tell you really fast just that I'm so super grateful for every single one of you. Every single one of you. Anybody who takes the time to watch any of my videos and to leave a comment, even if you don't leave a comment, I'm just so grateful to have you be a part of this with me. And you know, it's just really neat. As silly and as trivial as, you know, it seems to, you know, bond over skincare, I just really think it's a really neat part of my life, and I really like it. And I'm trying to always practice gratitude, and I think one of the best ways to do that is to actually use your words and tell people how grateful you are for them. And so that is what I'm doing right now. So just wanted you to know, super grateful for you. Thank you for being part of this, and I will see you next time.